All right, and hopefully Spectrum does not screw me over. And yeah, okay, the last live stream that we did, was I freezing a lot?
I don't remember.
Don't remember? Okay, yeah, because I don't know what internet service provider you have, but here we have Spectrum, and Spectrum sucks. But they're the only ones we can go to. It's either that or like Comcast or something, and
Uh,
that's like bottom of the barrel. But yeah, Spectrum is terrible.
um, no,
Yeah,
the internet I got's pretty good. I got Xfinity.
even the name sounds even better. Xfinity.
Yeah.
Shit, we got punk ass Spectrum.
No,
All
I
right,
don't.
so
I'm not familiar with Spectrum.
yeah, they suck, bro. Good. You don't need to know who they are. All right, so we are live right now. 49 seconds. Um, I noticed some live streams they wait about a minute or two for people to come on, but you know what, Jake, we got too much to talk about. We ain't got time to wait on nobody. They can just catch the replay. So right now, got my boy Jacob Martin in the house. We collabed a few weeks ago for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a movie based off of a cartoon from the 80s. And I said, okay, let's keep this thing going. Let's review another classic cartoon adapted into a live action joint, Masters of the Universe, dropped in 1987 by Canon Films. Directed
Canon Films. That's all you
Canon
need to
Films.
know.
Oh my god, directed by first time director what's his name? Gary Goddard, I think I'm saying his name right. Starring Dolph Lundgren, baby oiled up, muscle to the T, Frank Langella, Courtney Cox before she got the Botox, Meg Foster as Evelyn, and that's all. Oh, and the girl that played Tila, because I had a crush on her back in the day, Chelsea Field, I think her name was. Yeah, I was crushing on Tila hard, bro. Like she was the reason I started puberty, man. And surprisingly, the music is done by the great Bill Conti,
Oh.
who also scored the Rocky movie. So like, yeah, so if you're watching the movie, you're like, this movie's not too good, but damn, the music is. That's because Bill Conti did the music. All right. So before we get into the film, Jacob, if you just want to introduce yourself and your channel and what you got coming up, uh, go ahead. The floor is yours, bro.
All right. Well, on my channel, I mainly do movie reviews, TV reviews, ranking videos, all that good stuff. Video that's actually just premiering on my channel right now. I'm doing a video. I do a series called Vlogging the Movies. A lot of times it's movies that I react to for the first time, and it's a video where I reacted to Scream 2 for the first time. I saw the first Scream for the first time earlier this year. That video dropped, I think, about a month or two ago now. It was around the time the new one came out. And so
Mhm.
now I'm finally checking out Scream 2, and I've got Jacob Collins, who I know on off the Facebook group that we're a part of, and he's on these videos as well, who's a long time Scream fan. He's like, hey, you want to do the Scream movies? I'm like, sure. But I'm going to add an extra twist and just vlog my first time reactions to the Scream movies. And
Okay.
then other videos dropping this week. I got my superhero Saturdays video for this week is going to be for the Dark Knight Rises.
Nice.
I got a
Nice.
review of Nightmare Alley coming to the channel this week, the Guillermo del Toro film.
Okay.
I got a review for the classic comedy The Apartment from 1960. I don't know if you've seen that or not.
Yeah, I had to
But
watch that at film school like a long time ago. Yeah. I don't
yeah,
remember it, but I know we had to watch that for film school. It was I think it was the directing class we had to watch that. But yeah.
all right. And then so I just do a lot of wide variety stuff. Like I do like superhero Saturdays. I got celebrating Disney's like my other big series. The video dropping this week. I'm doing the three-part docu series, The Beatles Get Back, which was on. It dropped on Disney Plus back in Thanksgiving 2021. Peter Jackson directed it. Interesting little series, but way too long though. Like it's each episode, like one's like 2.5 hours, another one's 3 hours, another one's like 2 hour 20 minutes. So it's almost like 8 hours long. So it was hard for me to find the time to watch all three. I watched like part one, and when it came out back in November, and it
Mm.
took me this long to watch the other two. If that says anything, not that the quality's bad. It's
Yeah.
really good if you're a Beatles fan because it's like this lost archive footage of like Beatles rehearsing for, like rehearsing and recording their last album, and we see like their big epic rooftop concert like just before they broke up. There's some great footage. It was just a little too much.
Too much, yeah, yeah. Like when you're watching, you notice one of your eyes go to droop, and you're like, uh. At least
Yeah,
that's with me. Like I'll fall. Like if something loses my interest, bro, I'll fall asleep quick. Maybe it's just my old age kicking in also, but I will fall asleep in a heartbeat if you lose my interest. But yeah, I'm definitely a fan of your superhero Saturdays. I definitely watch those. Really enjoyed that. I wish YouTube would just give us a little bit more. I know it's not so much YouTube. I know it's the studios, but man, if they could just allow us to actually react to the movie
yeah,
without hitting us with that copyright strike, man, that'd be dope because that's what really makes the videos entertaining. Just seeing how are you reacting to certain, like for example, if you're watching Alien and you're watching that chest buster scene, I want to see your reaction, your face when you watch that scene live, while it's happening. You know what I mean? But of course, it is what it is. It's
yeah.
this YouTube world. We can't, there's only so much we can do.
Yeah,
But
I've been a little hesitant because I did watch parties for a while on my
mhm,
channel where I would like watch the movie and do live streams where I like talk about the movie while it's going on. But like
right.
YouTube blocked my last watch party I did, which was for the Polar Express, one of my favorite childhood Christmas movies.
Mhm,
And I've been a little hesitant on doing them ever since because that was such a big shock.
right, right. Oh yeah, they'll hit you quick. Yeah, I think because I had a little series back in the day, well, a couple of years ago when the pandemic first hit, called Lockdown Theater, where I was kind
Mm.
of doing the same thing that you was doing. I would watch a movie on my projector and I would kind of react to it. And they got me for Cobra. I was watching the movie Cobra, and I showed like a little like 10, 12 second clip of the movie, and they said, "Up, we got you." So like you, I said, you know what? Fuck it, I'm not doing these anymore. And that's the reason I stopped doing reaction videos, because when I first started my channel, bro, I used to do reaction videos to trailers, which it's a good thing I stopped doing them because my reactions weren't real. I was putting on for the camera. I mean, you see
Mm.
reaction videos, you watch, you're like, oh god, ah.
Yeah,
I was faking it. I was, it wasn't real. But
and
then
you,
they
you
got,
can kind of tell when they're fake.
yeah, 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 and they got me for. I reacted to Creed 2, the trailer for Creed 2, and they slapped me with the copyright. So I said, yeah, I'm gonna stop doing reaction videos as well. But bro, thank you for joining me tonight to talk about this movie here. I'm gonna play a little intro here in a second. Okay, here we go. So y'all, if you're just joining us right now, got my boy Jacob Martin on the channel here, and we're gonna be talking about this joint.
This is a homage beat.
Dolph Lundgren as He-Man, Frank Langella as Skeletor, Masters of the Universe. Live the adventure.
All right, all right. So if you remember last time we talked about the Ninja Turtles, how passionate I was, how much I loved the film, how it just brought me to tears at certain points. All right, I'm not gonna have that same enthusiasm this time around, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. Masters of the Universe to me is a guilty pleasure. I would never argue with you or anybody that this is a great movie. If you take a heaping pile of shit on it, I want to argue with you, man, because it is a bad movie. But I have a soft spot in my heart for the movie because it just has a certain charm to it. You can tell that the director was trying to make a really good film and everybody gave it their all. And I feel like Frank Langella as Skeletor, like really, he just enjoyed playing that role. You could tell he had a great time playing that role. And Dolph Lundgren, people give Dolph Lundgren shit for playing He-Man, but you gotta think, bro, this is only his second movie. His first movie was Rocky 4, and of course, that kind of catapulted him. But now he's in his first starring role where he has most of the lines, and he's not experienced. So of course he's going to be bad. But physically, he fit the role. He did most of his own stunts, and I bought him as He-Man. I believe that he was He-Man. You know what I mean? So I know we're going to get into the details of this movie, the nitty gritty of this movie. But just overall, for me, I dug the movie. I dug it. It's a great time. As a He-Man movie, it sucks because I grew up on the cartoon. I had the action figures. Christmas morning, 84. I had my father got me the whole He-Man collection. I had everything, bro. Castle Grayskull, Battle Cat, the whole 9 yards, man. I had them all. There was only like 8 characters total from the toys in the cartoon that was in the movie out of everybody. Even back then, I was disappointed. But as a He-Man movie, it sucked. But just as a what's it called? Sword and sorcerer type movie, as an action adventure, as a fun time, just a popcorn fun time. It's, I think it'll hold most kids' interest over a lot of movies made today for kids because the movie just never slows down. Okay, that's just my 2 cents on it. So here we go. What's your thoughts of Masters of the Universe?
All right, so much like with the Ninja Turtles, I have not seen a single He-Man episode, so I know nothing about the cartoon. I had seen it pop up in memes and stuff, but I couldn't tell you anything about the show or the characters or the world building or anything like that. So this is the first time I've seen anything He-Man related. It's a trip. Let's just put it that way. I don't know if this is like a faithful adaptation of He-Man or not, but I had a feeling something was off about this movie because, one, it's canon films, and I was looking at like the world of Eternia, and I'm like, this just looks cheap looking. I'm like, and then I saw Canon did, and I'm like, okay, I know what we're in for. It's the same studio that did Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, which came out the same year. And then, of course, they had He-Man and all the characters. They're not even in their main world for most of the movie. Like, they have to escape from Skeletor, and they end up on planet Earth. I'm like, why do these fantasy movies keep doing this? Like, have you seen the live action animated Smurfs movie where the Smurfs end up in New York City? No one wants to see the Smurfs in New York. You want to see the Smurfs in their own world, their own colorful world. I just feel like that's lazy writing, and it's just a way to get around, extensive visual effects and just, let's just have fantastical characters in our world and just have them do the fish out of water stuff. Not that you can make that work in some regards, but I don't know. I think I feel like you want to be invested in your own world if you want to make a quality movie out of this, and I'm like, why are we doing this? Why is He-Man on Earth? What's with that story with Courtney Cox moping about her dead parents? That's like
it's very bizarre.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Was that like one of her first movie roles?
I believe it was. Yeah. She might have done some TV stuff, but I think this was her first feature film. And yeah, I 100% agree with you. Like I said, even as a kid, I felt disappointed because all the cartoons, like, it all took place in Eternia, and we're in Eternia for the beginning and the end of the movie. All the other stuff is on Earth, but they had to take the cheap way out, like you said, fish out of water. And it's crazy because this was their highest budgeted movie to date at that time. Like, because Canon was notorious for pumping out like 20 movies a fucking month. Each movie had like $1 million to $3 million budget. So they made their movies very cheap, very fast. They put them out there. And even if a movie made $20 million, it quadrupled the budget because the budgets were so low. But then Menachem Golan, I think his name is, got too big for his britches. He had, I guess he wanted to compete with the big boys and say, you know what? Our movies are making more money than Warner Brothers. Why not put more money? So now 87 was the year that really killed Canon because you have Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone, where they paid Stallone $20 million. I think $20 million around that area. Had Over the Top, big budget Canon film, flopped. Superman 4, big budget Canon film, flopped. And then they put all the chips. They gambled everything on this movie, on Masters of the Universe. They even had a sequel planned, and they were planning to do a Spider-Man movie written by James Cameron. Of course, Masters, it flopped badly. Like, I think it had a $20 million budget. Started out at $60 million, ballooned up to $22 million. And I don't know if you know this, is some trivia, but they actually pulled the plug 3 days before shooting ended. So they didn't even have a finished movie. Like, they literally turned the lights out. They literally turned the lights out while they were filming a scene. So the director had an idea, okay, let's put up the backup power generator, and finish this last scene between. So that last fight that you see with He-Man and Skeletor, where they were fighting in the dark, that's when Cannon had turned the lights off.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So he really wanted to finish the movie, but it flopped badly.
Yeah, like I did some research. I even read like Canon was so confident that this movie was going to be huge. They were like, "This is going to be our Star Wars. This is going to be the next Star Wars."
Right.
He-Man of all things.
Yeah.
And look at what that turned out.
And you got to think too. This was made in '87. He-Man, the height of He-Man's popularity was between '83 and '85. After that, nobody cared about He-Man anymore. So by '87, I stopped playing with my He-Man toys that were sitting in the closet collecting dust. I wasn't even thinking about them, but I was interested in the movie because I'd never seen a live action He-Man before. So I was fascinated. But then when I went to go see it, I know you're not familiar with the characters, but I'm like, okay, this character's missing. That character's missing. Okay, where is this character? And even Skeletor himself. Skeletor in the cartoon was he was always cracking jokes. He was always snapping on people. He was a smartass. And here he's more like just real serious and kind of different from what we know of in the cartoon. So there was a disconnect with the fans and the movie from what we know of. If they would have stuck more to the spirit of the cartoon, it probably would have did better.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah, like I can't make the comparisons because, like I said, I'd never seen the cartoon. But
Mm-hmm.
I will say one of the biggest positives that I have with this movie is Frank Langella as Skeletor. Like I thought he embraced the cheesiness of the character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean the rubber mask is cheap looking. I was laughing at how bad that looked. But I just love that he went all out with the over the top voice.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of almost like Emperor Palpatine like, but a lot goofier.
Right.
And I enjoyed what he brought to the role, and I think he was circled around everyone else as far as acting goes. I thought he was actually really enjoyable as Skeletor. I actually read that even to this day, Frank Langella apparently claims this is one of his favorite roles to date because I think he just enjoyed playing the character. He decided to play the character because his son loved the He-Man cartoons. Like, I gotta do this to make my son happy, and he really enjoyed it.
Well, did you also read that when he took his son to the premiere, his son fell asleep on it?
No. That's funny.
Yeah, true story. He said he took his son to see the premiere and he was knocked out. He fell asleep on it because, like I said, it was the disconnect. I don't know these characters. I know He-Man, I know Skeletor, but I like the rest of these characters. They're not what I remember seeing on the cartoon. And I think that's what a lot of these movies get wrong when they try to adapt from a cartoon or animated series to a live action is you have to catch the spirit and the essence of, what this meant to the children, that watched it. You know what I mean? With the Smurfs and even, I think Transformers got it right for the most part. The first Transformers movie, Michael Bay, I think they got it right. Even G.I. Joe, when I watched G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra, I said, what the fuck is this? This is not the G.I. Joe that I remember, Like, no, man. But still, it was a good time. Very simple story. Okay, Eternia is under siege. Skeletor is trying to, rule the world or whatever. And they have the sorceress, and there's a cosmic key that can, I guess, unlock the multiverse of madness. So before the multiverse of madness, we have Masters of the Universe, and so they got to capture the cosmic key. They escape, go to Earth, and now Skeletor and Evil Lyn are on the hunt for He-Man and Gwildor and the key. That's pretty much the story. And then, of course, the subplot with Courtney Cox's character with her parents dying in a plane crash, the boyfriend that doesn't want her to leave. That's what frustrated me here. If you would have took them out of the movie, they really serve no purpose. Like, why were they even there? Like, who came up with the idea to write this storyline that has nothing to do with the Cosmic Key or Eternia? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or am I tripping?
It didn't make sense why they were even in the movie. Like, Courtney Cox served no purpose for the story. The boyfriend, he's only there because he mistook that key thing for some synthesizer, and so he's just goofing around with it, playing it like it's an instrument, and that's what triggers Skeletor and them to come to Earth to attack.
Yeah.
He-Man and all that. So I guess he's only there to be stupid, pretty much.
Yeah.
And
Pretty much.
then what annoyed me too was, we're at the end of the movie and, they had the big invasion and it looks like, the characters are trapped on Earth because the key thing got demolished and destroyed. And the guy's like, oh no, I remember the melody that I played. That'll get us back. Ooh! Like, oh, come on now. That's some lazy writing.
Well, you gotta admit that was a catchy tune, was it? Yeah, I was like, okay, that's a catchy little tune there. Okay, I can rock to that. Bill Conti, he did the music, And another thing I noticed too, bro, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but okay, the Beastman, right? Now, have you watched Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett?
Yeah, I've seen that.
You know where I'm going with this. Doesn't Beastman remind you of the Wookiee, the black
Wookiee?
Oh,
that big. Oh, yeah, he did look a little similar.
Yeah, had the same movements and everything. Because even when I watched Boba Fett, I was like, I've seen this before. So when I went back and rewatched this, I said, okay, Beastman. I forgot the Wookiee's name. I just call him Black Wookiee.
I'm definitely not on Star Wars nerdy. Even though I love Star Wars, it's my favorite franchise of all time.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not on like nerd level that like Anthony A. Perez is on.
Oh, well, yeah, real quick, deviating, kind of going off course. Yeah, me and Perez kind of went back and forth on Facebook last night. I had a couple of drinks, and because he posted the news about Darth Maul being replaced by Vader, right? So I'm a huge Darth Maul fan. That's one of my favorite like villains ever. Just not Star Wars, but ever. So Perez was like, nah, this is good because Maul served his purpose, and the way Obi-Wan took him out, I thought it was beautiful and poetic. I said, what? So here I am, Jacob. I'm typing, but in my mind, I'm like, there's nothing beautiful or poetic about how he died. What are you talking about? So we kind of had this battle. Yeah, we had this battle on Facebook, man, that lasted a while, man. I'm like, Perez, man, go ahead and have it, man.
Yeah. I actually read that whole thing, and I was laughing for about. And I was just sitting there. I'm like, I see where both you guys are coming from.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in the middle on it. I did think the way he went out was kind of anticlimactic, but I felt like it served its purpose at the same time. Because Obi-Wan's like, no, you're not my concern. My concern is Luke.
Yeah.
That was how I took
it. And I know, reality, I know that Maul cannot beat Obi-Wan, especially now, being that Obi-Wan's a seasoned veteran the way he is. I know he can't beat him, but damn it, make it competitive. Rocky didn't go in there and knock Drago out in the first round. It was stretched out to a long, dramatic 15-round fight that you remember forever. Okay, we had one battle between Obi-Wan and Darth Maul that lasted that we always, remember.
Yeah.
Give us another one. It was just a straight up zip. And I'm like, and Perez, you just watched that. It was like, that was beautiful. That was poetic. No, man. What the hell's wrong with you? I'm going to have him on live too, man. We're supposed to be talking Scarface when he comes in here. So that's going to be an interesting conversation. Yeah, because Perez likes to talk shit about my old 80s movies. You know what I'm saying? I keep forgetting how young y'all are, man. So, yeah, I know he's going to talk shit about Scarface. And we're probably going to go to fisticuffs again. But one thing I can appreciate about you, though.
I like most 80s movies, I feel like. I like, the charm that a lot of those old movies do have. So, I guess as cheesy as some of them are, they're still fun to watch.
Yeah, listen, I knew I had to collab with you when you reviewed Dolomite. When you reviewed Dolomite, I said, yo, okay, I fuck with this guy because that's when I knew that you would watch absolutely anything.
Yeah.
Because Dolomite is definitely an acquired taste that most people stay away from, but you watched it. I said, okay, yeah, I got to collab with this guy,
There we go.
Yeah, and now I had to subject you to this. But, I mean, I keep saying it's a bad movie, but you got to admit, it was dumb fun. I mean, you did have fun with the movie, right?
I do have fun with the movie. I can't say it's a masterpiece. I can kind of get why people would say it's a bad movie. I kind of put it more on, like, the so bad it's good level because the film's ridiculous. The plot makes no sense half the time. I don't get some of the story decisions they went for.
Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren has the acting chops of a rock, pretty much.
I don't know if you read this either, Jacob, but word was because at the time he had a thick Swedish accent.
Yeah.
So the director was going to dub his voiceover like how they did with Flash Gordon, right? They were good. If you've seen Flash Gordon, right?
The 80s movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw it years ago.
years ago. Yeah, so
If I rewatch it now, I'll probably appreciate it more.
oh, dude, it's like, dude. Even when I was watching this, I said, imagine Masters of the Universe with a Queen soundtrack, because
Yes.
Flash Gordon is not really a good movie, but Queen elevated the fucking movie, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that song is amazing.
What? So can you just imagine Queen on Masters of the Universe? I think it would have elevated the movie and it'd have been more of a cult classic.
Yeah, I think
think.
I definitely agree with you there. And even
Yeah.
I wasn't the biggest fan of the Highlander movie. It was just okay to me, but
hmm
the Queen soundtrack in that
Queen
movie
killed
was
it. Yes,
fantastic.
Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Queen made Highlander better than what it was.
Yeah.
So what the fuck was I saying? So
Dolph.
yeah, with Dolph Lundgren, yeah. So the director was gonna dub his voice over with another actor, but there was a thing in his contract that said he would have 3 tries to get it right. If the third try doesn't get it right, then they would dub his voice over. But guess what? By strike 3, they ran out of money. They had to shut production down, so they had no choice but to use his regular voice.
Mm.
But they were gonna dub his voice over because his accent was so thick.
Yeah, it was very rough watching his performance. He was just so weak, wooden, had no emotion the whole time. He was like, "Oh, I'm stranded on Earth. I need to get back to Eternia."
Yeah, his line
Almost
delivery,
sounded robotic at times.
yeah, his line delivery was even the dramatic scenes with Skeletor, like, "Will kneel before me, I will never kneel before you."
It was bad. I mean, like, I could forgive it in Rocky 4 because he's playing an over the top character and him being the
Right.
cold bad guy pretty much who
Mhm.
just has no emotion. It works in that movie. But
Right.
here he's like the heroic figure and it doesn't translate as well.
Yeah, and if you notice, that's why he doesn't have, they give him lines, but Man at Arms and Tila had more lines, I think, than Dolph Lundgren did. He almost kind of had to take a back seat and let the veteran actors kind of help carry the movie. Even though he's
Yeah.
the lead, but nah, bro, we have to surround you with talent because you by yourself, you're not pulling it off.
Yeah, that probably explains why, like, when they go to Earth, He-Man almost felt like an extra in his own movie because
Yeah.
they had it would always cut back to Skeletor and him trying to find He-Man, and then it would cut to that lame subplot with Courtney Cox,
Yeah.
which was so boring and unnecessary. It was,
And I can't remember the actor who played him, but the actor that played Man at Arms, I thought he did a really good job too. He really helped. What was his name?
which character was this?
Man at Arms. Okay, remember Attila, the girl, her father, the soldier.
Oh, we're talking about the good guys, right?
The good guys, yeah.
Oh, the older guy. Okay. I
Yeah,
think-
John
that.
Cipher is his name, yeah.
Okay, because there was the older guy, there was a girl, and then there was that creature.
Gwildor, yeah. So yeah, he was the older guy. He was the soldier, man. Yeah, his name is Man at Arms. I know that's kind of a weird name, right? Dude, well, okay, listen to these He-Man character names, right? These are the toys. So you got Skeletor, right? You got Evil Lyn, you got He-Man, you got the Beastman, and then not in the movie, you got Merman, Triclops. Okay, so not Cyclops, but Triclops because he has 3 eyes. You got Man-E-Faces, okay? Orko, which is the wizard. You have Stinkor, who smells bad. You got Mothman, okay? Yeah, he just got some weird. Yeah, there's even like a spider type character, and his name is Webster. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some bizarre names. But yeah, I thought the actor that played Man at Arms, I thought he did a good job, and his name is John Cipher. And looking at his picture, he kind of reminds me of Kirk Douglas. Yeah, like a Kirk Douglas knockoff. But yeah, man, yeah. This is a movie that killed canon, that put them under, because there was actually a sequel plan called Masters of the Universe 2 Cyborg, right? And after canon went under, well, they were about to go under. They scrapped the idea of Masters of the Universe and rewrote the script and just called it Cyborg. And that's the movie that we have with Jean-Claude Van Damme, if you ever seen that.
I hadn't seen that.
Yeah, so yeah, if you check out the trailer, if you check out the trailer for Cyborg, that was supposed to be Masters of the Universe too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they had the costumes made. It was gonna take place in Eternia, most of the movie, and they said nope. Let's put Jean-Claude Van Damme in there, take out Dolph Lundgren, shorten it down to an hour and 20 minutes. Cyborg.
And I kind of would have wished we had gotten a sequel, honestly, because I enjoyed it for what it was, and the post-credit scene at the end cracked me up, where Skeleton's face comes out of the water. And he's like, "I'll be back.
I'll be back." Yeah.
He's the Terminator.
And we never got that. Yeah, we never got it, man. Even the last battle, like I like that last fight between He-Man and Skeletor when he was like God
fun.
Skeletor. Yeah. I thought, a lot of stuff worked.
And even like when Skeletor and them invaded Earth, that action scene, I enjoyed it. I didn't like that the story was set on Earth for most of the movie, but I actually did like a lot of the practical effects used in the laser battles, the gun battles. It was still fun to watch. I still enjoyed, I guess, the entertainment value of it. I guess some of the effects haven't really aged well, like when He-Man's flying on that one thing. I think I could tell they reused like the same shot like 3 times of him chasing that one guy. I'm like, if I'm getting Superman 4 vibes there again with Superman. Woo!
Yeah, but you could tell they took more care and detail with the effects here. Yeah, compared to
Superman 4. Yeah, that's why I enjoyed this a lot more, because we did the collab on Superman 4 on my channel, and it's an almost unwatchable movie because the visuals were terrible.
Yeah, they were, man, and you could tell like they put in more money, and they rolled the dice and they risked it all, man. And you just have to think, what if this movie was a smash hit? We would have gotten a Masters 2. We would have got a Spider-Man, James Cameron written, directed Spider-Man movie. Like, what if this movie could have started something, but like with most gambles, it didn't pay off.
Yeah, I guess it's an interesting what if, and that's what's cool about movies, is like seeing what could have happened if something actually happened that actually didn't happen.
Right. I mean, because you take a movie like Jaws, man. Jaws risked it all too. Like if Jaws was a failure, Steven Spielberg would have been done. Universal would have probably went belly up. You know what I'm saying? Like they put a lot into Jaws, and luckily the gamble paid off. But not many movies are that fortunate, to have that same fate. And this was one of them.
And I think about Star Wars too, because that movie had almost as bad a production issues as Jaws had, because like robots kept breaking down, sets got destroyed in sandstorms, like George Lucas was near out of budget when doing some of the extensive visual work at the time, and he feared it was gonna flop.
Yeah,
and like he felt like the cast didn't have much faith in the movie. He didn't have much faith in the movie, even though he was passionate about making it. But then it turned out to be this big monster hit. So I wonder what would have happened had the movie flopped. What kind of movies would we be getting today if Star Wars was not the financial success? I don't know what it would be, because I feel like movies were made for the better after the success of Star Wars.
Oh yeah. Star Wars changed the game forever. Yeah, Star Wars, like and after that movie, there was so many copycats and a lot of biters. You know what I mean? It just made people step their game up, especially when it came to special effects. Because before then, you had stuff like Jason and the Argonauts, or however you say that shit. That stop motion stuff. But Star Wars made it like, okay, we got to step our shit up, and that's how we got the MCU. We got all these big budget movies today because of that film. But yeah, had it flopped, George probably would be in the grave, because it probably would have killed him. And the industry definitely would be different. But I'll say this though too: what helped Star Wars also, what this movie should have did, Jacob, was the merch. The advertising. They put, it's somewhat like, okay, I was around at this time, bro. They put almost no merch out for this movie. You had a couple of coloring books, and that's it. But there was no toys. There was like no video games. There was nothing. And you got to think, kids are watching this. So the more kid merch you put out there, the more anticipation there is to watch this movie. Because the cartoon was long gone, But if you're bringing He-Man back, bring him back in a big way. Release a Nintendo game. Release, action figures, kites, and remote control cars. All that shit. And that's what Lucas was a genius at. Lucas knew that kids buy toys, they play with toys and stuff, and I think that was helped the success of Star Wars, right?
Yeah, and look how it paid off because kids still love Star Wars this very day.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense why he didn't do toys because, like you said, and I can relate to this too because I had a lot of toys growing up. I had Star Wars toys. I had figurines from different movies. Like I had a lot of Disney toys as a kid. Like I would go to McDonald's or the Happy Meal, and the toy would come with it. A lot of which were from various Disney movies from my childhood.
Right.
I think I had like Treasure Planet and Lilo and Stitch. I think there might still be downstairs. I don't know. I haven't seen them in a while. But yeah, merchandise sells, especially if you market them to kids. So it doesn't make sense why they wouldn't just capitalize off that. They kind of just shot themselves in the foot by not doing that. Even though they had faith in the movie, they should have, gone one step further to try to make sure, hey, we got toys. Here you go. The kids can play with this. Our movie's coming out soon.
Right. Because they partnered because Mattel was the makers of the toys, right? So Canon was partnered with Mattel. So I don't know why they didn't work something out where, okay, before the movie comes out, let's release a line of toys based on the movie, to help build anticipation for it. And bro, I don't know if you read this either, but Mattel had like a long list of mandates and stipulations that Canon had to do for this movie. For example, He-Man was not allowed to kill. That was the main thing.
What? Did he kill in the cartoon?
Well, but they were robots. So these like fake stormtroopers that was in this movie, they had to be robots.
What?
Yeah.
I don't even think I made that connection that they were robots.
Yeah. Well, they were supposed to be human, but when Mattel came in there, that's when they changed it and made them so when they got shot, it was like they exploded instead of like blood and stuff coming out. Yeah. So Superman. He-Man wasn't allowed to kill. What else? He had to say I have the power, which that's a no-brainer. But it was like just a whole list of shit that they had to do for the movie, And okay, so if we're doing all that, okay, you do it on your end and put out merchandise to help sell the movie, but they didn't do any of that.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah. Shit, I can remember I was playing with the Return of the Jedi line of toys before I even seen the fucking movie. Okay, so before I seen Return of the Jedi, I already had Jabba's play set. I had, the whole, because my father got me like the whole collection, right? So I'm playing with these toys before I even saw the movie. Now I want to see the movie because I'm playing with these toys.
Yeah,
idiots.
That's really cool.
Oh yeah,
it's almost like a spoiler though. It's like, hey, we got Jabba's palace, and now we know that they saved Han Solo and defeated Jabba.
Right. Well, shit, I was 3 years old. I didn't give a shit,
Yeah.
But I was a creative little kid. I remember after seeing Empire Strikes Back, my father got me the Han Solo action figure, right? So I took the plastic container that he came in, and I put him in there, and I filled it up with water, and I froze him, right? And I took some aluminum foil and I put it over there, so it's like, look, Han Solo and carbonate.
That's too funny.
I was a weird kid, man. I just I even chopped off Luke's arm, like I chopped off his hand for real. Like I actually sawed his hand off so to copy the fight in Empire Strikes Back. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like the real life Sid from Toy Story. Like tortures toys just for fun.
I did, man. I was a destructive little kid, man. And my father always told me, son, take care of your things because this could be worth money someday. I'm like, I want to play. I wasn't thinking about my toys because Jacob, I was a spoiled kid, man. I had the whole He-Man collection. I had all the Star Wars toys. They had a line called Marvel's Secret Wars. I had those. Like I had so many fucking toys, man. X-Wing fighter. I never had the Falcon though. That's one regret I had. I never had the Falcon. But all the LJN WWF figures, had all of them. Didn't take care of any of them. Yeah, wow. I could have been a multi-thousandaire by now.
Yeah, it's crazy how those old toys are now like crazy collector's
Mhm.
items, and people make millions off them. It's crazy.
Right. So yeah, man. So overall, the film. So it was So you would consider this a guilty pleasure? This would be
It's
something that.
definitely a guilty pleasure. I would
Yeah.
definitely say so. I had fun with the experience. It's
Mhm.
not an amazing movie. There's elements that could have been better. I think if they had the budget to polish the effects, maybe if they had a better He-Man to have the emotional range, maybe if
Mhm.
they set it on Eternia and to flesh out the world building, I think there could have been something great with it. But
Right.
the movie we got, I enjoyed it for what it was. Like, it reminds me of some of like those movies where you just you're not supposed to like see great cinema or anything. You just
Mhm.
enjoy the fun of it. Like,
Just have a good
that's
time. Yeah.
yeah. I even like even my generation. I mean, you were talking about you didn't like the GI Joe movie. They're
Mhm.
guilty pleasure movies for my money's worth. I
Okay.
think I was at the right age when the Rise of Cobra came out.
Mhm.
I admit it's not a good movie. The CGI is terrible. The writing is so bad. I don't understand half of the story decisions, like the whole Baroness being like his brainwashed girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
it didn't make dog. If you want to see, to this day, bro, to this day, the best GI Joe movie to me is GI Joe the movie, the animated movie that came out in 1986, because it was just an extended um episode of the cartoon.
yeah,
Because GI Joe, an American Hero, I think it aired from 83 to like 86, I think, and then they had GI Joe the movie, which to this day when I watch it, bro, love it. Love it.
yeah.
Non-stop action, has everything you love about G.I. Joe. Barry's Rise of Cobra.
Yeah, I've only seen Rise of Cobra and Retaliation with The Rock in it. I liked Retaliation a little more, even though it did
Mm,
a lot of retconning, which I didn't
right.
like. But I mean, it was still goofy fun as well. And I mean, The Rock can definitely hold his own.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
think the
yeah.
action. I like the action a lot more in Retaliation. I thought it was better handled. I feel like, even though the story was so weak as well, like
Mm,
they killed off. It didn't make sense to me. Like, they killed off Channing Tatum like 20 minutes into the second movie when he was starting to become a big star by this point. I'm like, you think they would have capitalized off that? And I'm like, no. Channing hated being a part of the first movie. He admitted it in interviews. Let's just kill him off to
wow.
get him out of his misery.
Wow. And didn't he played Duke,
He
right? And
played
Duke.
Duke. Isn't he like the main character?
Yes, Duke was like the main character of the show, the franchise. Yeah, it was always Duke versus Cobra Commander.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was weird.
All right, well, let me ask you, because I've never seen Retaliation. So, did they ever introduce? Because in the cartoon, outside of Cobra Commander, there was another big baddie introduced who was even above Cobra Commander, and his name was Serpentor. Did they ever introduce the character by that name?
I don't remember the character in general. I don't even think they even addressed that in any of the movies because I think
Wow,
it was Cobra Commander, and then there was a character. I think his name was
Destro.
Zartan. No, I think
Oh,
Destro. That name sounds familiar. And I
mm,
think there was a character in the second one named Zartan, and his scheme in the film was
okay,
he was impersonating the president of the United
mm,
States, and he was ordering attacks on GI Joe and using that to have Cobra take over.
mm,
And that's pretty much the plot of the sequel. And so that's what kills off Duke. And so the surviving Joes have to band together to expose what's actually going
wow,
on.
wow,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
That's okay. Yeah, so yeah, Zartan. Yeah, he was one of the bad guys in the cartoon. Yeah, he was able to not shape shift, but yeah, he was able to copycat or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, Serpentor. Yes, hopefully one day we'll get a live action version of Serpentor. If you look him up, Serpentor was badass. Like he was worse than Cobra Commander. Like he put Cobra Commander out of commission. That's how bad he was. Yeah. And if you ever watch the '86 movie, bro, Cobra Commander gets turned into a snake, like an actual fucking like
Literal.
he actually transforms into a fucking big ass snake, bro. I love GI Joe
Wow.
the movie. Yeah, I love it.
Maybe that could be our next one.
Oh shit, why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Hell, yo, how about yo? Matter of fact, let's do this, bro. Let's do a double feature, right? Because they both came out around the same year. Transformers the movie and GI Joe the movie.
Hey, I hadn't seen that one either, so that'd be
You
a
ever seen
great double
Transformers the
bill.
movie?
I've just
Okay.
seen the live action ones.
Yes, all right. So yo, that's next. Then Transformers and GI Joe the
All
movie.
right.
Yeah, both of them
Same stream.
same stream. Yeah,
All right.
because both of them came out in '86. I think Transformers came out first. That was released theatrically. It bombed. So instead of releasing GI Joe theatrically, they just put it right to VHS.
Oh.
Yeah, so it went straight. Yeah, because they was afraid it was gonna lose money like Transformers did. But there's a lot I want to say about both of us, but we're gonna save that
Yeah, we'll save
for
that.
the stream. Yeah, but for now, yeah. So you dug Masters, even though
I didn't mind it. I would go if I had to grade it. I would say, I guess quality wise, it'd probably be D minus, but entertainment wise, I'd go C plus.
I can respect that. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind this movie. It's fun for what it is. As stupid as it is, even with the terrible mistakes Cannon made on this movie,
right?
I can enjoy it on a so bad it's good movie. Oh yeah. Another thing I almost forgot to mention, I enjoyed seeing. I think the actor's name is. What's that guy's name?
I think I know you talking about the bald-headed guy.
Yeah, bald-headed guy. Yeah. James Tolkien is his name. Mr. Strickland in Back to the Future. I loved his character in this movie. He completely chewed up the scenery, and I just loved how over the top he got.
I love the scene where he was trying to get the stormtroopers to freeze. I was like, "Hey, freeze!" And they started shooting at him. He said, "Holy shit!" I think I'm gonna need some backup. Good stuff. Yeah, I 100% agree with you, man. Yeah, I would give it, like you said, a D minus as far as like the quality of it, and C plus just for entertainment value. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
See eye to eye on this. So that's all, man. Masters of the Universe. Got that review out the way. So looking forward to that next one, that double feature. Man, that's gonna be a motherfucker.
I can't wait.
Oh yes.
I've just seen the live action stuff on both franchises. I mean, the G.I. Joe movies are definitely guilty pleasures. I'll say that.
Right.
And I think I brought up when we did the Ninja Turtles, like the Transformers franchise. I'm not that crazy on them either. Like I'm not too crazy on Michael Bay.
Right.
The Bumblebee movie I thought was really good though.
Yeah, Bumblebee I think is underrated. I think and you know what? I think because the other Transformers movies left bad taste in people's mouths. So when Bumblebee came, like nobody cared anymore. Yeah. But I think Bumblebee is very like that opening scene in Cybertron. Crazy.
Yeah, and crazy. I think I didn't care about Transformers at that point, and I didn't see it in theaters, and I regret not seeing Bumblebee in theaters because when I finally watched it, I think I rented it off Redbox, and I thought it was really good. Like I liked the story. I like the 80s retro stuff. I thought Haley Steinfeld was great. I liked seeing... I like that it was almost like E.T., but with Transformers. And I can respect that because that's like my favorite Spielberg movie. I thought it was actually a really good movie. And I hope we get more Transformers movies in the care that Bumblebee did.
Now, was that the last one that they made, or they didn't do another one after that, right?
I don't think they've made it. There is a new Transformers movie that I think it's coming out next year. I think I'm gonna double check real quick. I got Wikipedia on another tab here. Give me a second.
Yeah, because Bumblebee. Because me and my daughter watched that, and I was surprised by how badass that movie was.
Yeah, there's an upcoming movie coming out. Next year, 2023, called Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. Is what it's called.
Beast! Oh, they're going to Beast Wars. Okay.
Yeah. Looks like the film is centering around Optimus Prime in 1994, so I think it is supposed to be a sequel to Bumblebee.
Okay.
I don't think they've got Haley Steinfeld in it though, but they've got Anthony Ramos. I like him as an actor.
Well, that's funny they're going back to the 90s because, that's when Beast Wars, they had the Beast Wars Transformers series.
Oh, the guy directing it is the same guy who did Creed 2. That's actually quite promising.
Not Ryan Coogler.
Stephen Caple Jr. is his name.
Stephen Caple Jr., Okay.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, okay. That's what's up. When is that drop again?
It's scheduled to come out, it says June 9th, 2023. So we got it.
Well, hopefully they don't push it back like they did with
Oh, the
Warner Brothers,
Flash.
man.
Oh yeah, that was bad.
That hurt my feelings.
I'm so hyped to see the Flash movie. That film was supposed to
Mm-hmm.
come out like in 2018 originally,
Mm-hmm.
but they had like different directors attached, and the directors and studios didn't see eye to eye. So now you
Right.
finally got a director, you got an idea cooking. You're doing this multiverse storyline, and you're bringing back Michael Keaton as Batman. So hyped for
Mm-hmm.
that, and then it's delayed again and
Yeah.
again and
So I
again.
wonder, is it because they're afraid of Doctor Strange or something? Like, is it like I don't
um,
understand what's going on?
I don't know. I don't really know the whole story. I think some of the stories I've heard is because Warner Brothers is having that merger with Discovery, and usually when
Oh,
two studios merge, that tends to delay projects. That's what happened
gotcha.
with Disney and Fox. I know some movies got delayed due to that.
Gotcha. Yeah,
So
because because remember they released that whole trailer of 2022 is the year of the hero.
yeah,
Starting with the Batman and then
they even had that
Shazam.
trailer in front of the Batman. They
Right.
promoted like the Flash and
Mm-hmm.
Black Adam
Aquaman,
and
Black Adam.
Aquaman,
Mm-hmm.
the Flash, and now I think the only ones actually coming out now after all delays is Black Adam, and then Shazam 2, which is supposed to come out next year, got moved up.
Yeah.
So we're getting Shazam now, which
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm excited for all these upcoming movies, but I'm still
Well,
let down by the delays. I think other people have. There's rumors going around that they're going to do reshoots on the Flash to connect it to the Zack Snyder verse because there were rumors that the Flash movie was
mm-hmm.
originally going to erase like the Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, his cut of Justice League, those
Mm-hmm.
movies to go in a new direction since Zack Snyder's not making any more DC movies. But now with this merger, people are hoping, hey, maybe they can get Zack Snyder back and
Mm-hmm.
continue what he started, and so they might continue on and keep it in the same universe. It's quite interesting. I've seen so many
Yeah.
different reactions. I just want to see a good movie. I don't care like what
Right.
universe it's doing. Even though I love the Zack Snyder stuff,
Mm-hmm.
especially his cut of Justice League, it was
Yeah.
miles better
Yeah.
than that garbage theatrical cut.
You know what? Jacob, I gotta say that. Okay, I got what Chris Stuckman likes to call his Phantom Menace because
Yeah,
I'll admit when I first saw that Justice League right in 2017, this is the year I first started my channel. I got out the movie theater and I was hyped. I was like, holy shit, that was
yeah,
fucking great. Got on camera, gave this rave review about it. Man, y'all gotta go see Justice League. That movie was the shit. I give it an A. I think I want to erase that video because
man.
after a couple of rewatches, I'm like, this movie is not as good as I thought it was.
Yeah. And even when I saw it too, like I saw it in theaters, I'm like, I could tell something was up about this movie,
Hmm.
but I still liked it at the time.
Right.
Because I thought, oh, the additional reshoots was assisting Zack Snyder's vision. That was far from the
Hmm.
case. And so
Right.
when more stuff came out, I'm like, okay, that makes more sense. And then we
Hmm.
got that Snyder cut years later. I'm like, yeah, that's the version we should have got.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's not a version was like, and that's why I'm in a weird headspace about it because I'm a fan of the Snyderverse, but at the same time, if they did want to go in a different direction, my feelings would not be hurt.
Yeah,
Because like you said, at the end of the day, bro, I just want to see because I love DC and Marvel, so I'm not gonna say I'm team one or the other. I love both of them. I root for both of them. I'm a big fan of Batman, Superman, Hulk, and Spider-Man. I want to see all of them do good. I just want to see DC get done the way it deserves. You know what I'm saying? Because DC's got some great stories, some great characters. Why can't they get this universe right? So if they want to go in a different direction and it works, I'm all for it. If they want to try to extend the Snyderverse, cool. I want to see where they were going to go with Darkseid. But I don't know, man. Like I said, I just want to see a good movie, bro. At the end of the day,
yeah, I definitely agree, and I also agree. I don't care about Marvel or DC one
hmm
way. I love both equally. Even
right?
though I'm not a comic reader, I just want to see a good movie with these characters. And
Exactly.
I've enjoyed most of the DCU stuff. I think the only movies I think are garbage are, again, the theatrical cut of Justice League. And I
Mhm.
did not like the first Suicide Squad either. That's one where, again, I Phantom Menaced on that first one because I saw it in theaters. I'm like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
It's a really cool movie. And then the
Uh-huh.
more I've rewatched it, I'm like, I saw the issues it had. I'm like, oh, I don't like it. Now I hate it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love the James Gunn movie was so much better.
Yeah, man. That's funny how movies do us, man. How, on first watch, you're like, man, that's the greatest thing ever. And then you're like, Jesus, that's why I try to watch a movie probably a couple of times before I really decide whether I like it or not. You
Mm-hmm.
know, because sometimes you end up making an ass of yourself. Kind of like what I did with Candyman, last year's Candyman, which I still think is decent. But when I first watched it, it was in a packed theater. Everybody was into it. The experience, the atmosphere was crazy. I got out thinking I just saw the best horror movie ever. 3 days later, after I dropped my review, I watch it again. Just me and my daughter, probably like three other people in the theater. That's not as good. This is not as good the second time
Oh
around, is it?
wow.
No. That's a damn.
Oh
And,
man.
and, and Blacktastic even dissed me because in my review I said it was a masterpiece. And so to this day he brings up, so Rashada, was that movie a masterpiece? I'm like, fuck you.
Man, I still haven't seen the new Candyman. I love the original Candyman. That
Yeah.
movie's great. But I was just about to see the new Candyman, and
Mm-hmm.
then what do you know? My whole family had COVID when the film came out, and so we had to get through that mess. And to this day, I still hadn't seen it.
Yeah, it's a decent watch. I still would prefer the first one over the new one, just because Tony Todd is just so iconic, man. But yeah, I have to watch a movie a couple of times to determine. That's why, like with the Batman, I had to watch that twice before I really okay, do I really love this movie or not? And yeah, I really dig the Batman, and I never thought I would say that because I can't stand Robert Pattinson, but now I'm a fan. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Yeah, that now I'm a fan. But yeah, man, like growing up I did read comic books, so maybe I am more team Marvel just because the Incredible Hulk is my favorite character, and it breaks my heart that the MCU does not like him. They they don't like the Hulk. I don't know why, Jacob, but
I
maybe
think
you can make it make sense.
I think
They
what
don't like
happened
him.
was the Incredible Hulk that movie had a different distributor than the other MCU movies because now the MCU is owned by Disney,
Mm-hmm.
but the Incredible Hulk was distributed by Universal, and so
Right.
a lot of the time they had to get around the whole. Universal technically still owns the rights to the Incredible Hulk movie from 2008, and they
Yeah.
didn't like the low box office for that movie compared to the Marvel movies we're getting now, which a lot of them are
Mm-hmm.
making like billions and billions of dollars. And so they're like,
Jesus.
no, we're not interested in a sequel. And so they
Yeah.
just had to, oh, we just have to go only tell the Hulk story and the Avengers movies and
Mm-hmm.
Thor Ragnarok. But hey, Universal doesn't own She-Hulk, so we'll do the She-Hulk series and have Bruce Banner in that to get around the loophole.
And I understand that, but it's like, okay, if you can borrow him, use him right. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I think the best version of the Hulk that we've ever seen is the version in the first Avengers movie.
Yeah, he was
Hulk was
great in that.
scary. He was brutal, savage. He was the Hulk. You know what I mean? He was the highlight of that movie. And from then on, they kept making him a sucker. So, Age of Ultron, he gets defeated by Iron Man in the Hulkbuster suit. In the comics, I don't think that ever happened. Then you go to Thor Ragnarok. They arch his eyebrows. They give him a haircut. He's talking like a baby. He's a clown. He's almost a buffoonish. And then you have him in Infinity War. Thanos bodied him in the beginning of the movie, only to never be seen again. And
Yeah.
from my understanding, I think they shot a version where he does bust out of the Hulkbuster. He fights in Wakanda, but for whatever reason, they cut that shit out.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely feel your frustration. Like I'm kind of, I mean, I like the Hulk, but he's not my favorite. So what they've
Mm.
done, I don't think bothers me as much as you. But yeah, I can
Yeah,
definitely see where you're
look at
coming
this.
from.
You probably can see. Look at that. I got the
Oh,
tag.
I,
You probably can't see the whole thing.
I can't fully see that. Yeah, I can see the Hulk there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a fan.
Endgame made him smart. Okay, there is a version in the comics called Professor Hulk where he does become smart, but he's still badass though. He served no. But of course, Perez. Well, actually, I like that version of the Hulk. No.
I didn't mind that version of the Hulk because he helped bring the universe back. He was the one who did the snap that brought the people back together. So I thought he did serve a purpose.
Well, okay, he served. Okay, you know what? He did serve a purpose because if it wasn't for Hulk, they wouldn't have came back. Okay, I'll give you that. But man, he couldn't get a payback punch on Thanos. Come on, Thanos bodied him in Infinity War. He could have at least got one good lick back on him as payback.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Even when I watched Infinity War, I'm like, okay, I hope Hulk gets that payback on Thanos in Endgame. But no, he snapped his finger. Half his arm is like messed up after that. Like he's out of the fight. Maybe you should have snapped after you did your punch at Thanos, maybe
something.
But that wouldn't have worked because we wouldn't have had the amazing portal scene. So I got like complicated emotions.
Yeah. I mean, probably the only badass thing he did in the movie, Jacob, was he threw a couch in the fucking lake. That's it. When he found out that Natasha died. Oh, scared of you? No. Yeah, man. So, yeah, well, they say in She-Hulk, I guess they're supposed to do him some justice. We'll see. But as a fan of my favorite character, Jacob, my heart is broken. The Russos have made some of the best MCU movies, but right now I'm not feeling the Russos because they don't like the Hulk, and it shows in their work.
Yeah.
It just shows in their work. Infinity War, Endgame, they show the Hulk no love at all. That's it, and that's all.
We'll see how She-Hulk does. Hopefully, you'll get a better version of the Hulk that better satisfies you.
Yeah, even Thor beating him. I'm like, all right, I know Thor's the god of thunder, and I'm not saying that Thor's a pushover, but just like in the first Avengers, Hulk could handle Thor pretty easily. You know, there's So how we have it Ragnarok now, Thor beats him. You know, without the hammer. Because he has the lightning. Yeah, he has the lightning. Light the bastards up. Fuck out of here.
I will say I like that part. You know, they made fun of the whole when Natasha was coming up to the Hulk and went sweet talked him back.
Oh yeah.
Like, hey, big guy, the sun's getting real low. And Thor tried to do that in the Gladiator match, and Hulk's like, no, boom, boom.
Yeah.
You gotta admit that was fun.
No, it was funny. Yeah, then Loki's like, yeah.
Yes, that's how it feels.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. But yeah, they still made him a sucker though. You know, the most badass thing he did in Ragnarok was beat a big ass wolf.
It was still cool to watch though.
Yeah. I don't know, man. But hey, I ain't gonna keep you long, man. I know it's been about an hour now, so about to wrap this up. So yeah, one more time, man. Plug your channel in. Then we're gonna call it a night.
All right. Well, on my channel, like I said, I do movie reviews and TV reviews and all that good stuff. The video that dropped earlier on my channel, I did that vlog in the movies where I react to Scream 2 for the first time. I almost forgot to mention yesterday on my channel, I did a ranking of all of the live-action Batman movies since the Batman just came out.
I gotta watch that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, what'd you think of that ranking?
Oh, no, I'm going to watch it. No, as soon as we get done with this, I'm going to watch that.
You're going to watch that next. All right, go ahead and watch it.
Yeah.
All right, so, and then other videos dropping. I'm reviewing the classic comedy The Apartment from 1960. I also got a review of Nightmare Alley coming. And then my next celebrating Disney video this week, I'm doing that Beatles docu-series, which was like 4 hours too long, as good of a series it was. And then I got The Dark Knight Rises coming up for my Superhero Saturday. So that's all that's coming to the channel this week.
Okay, yeah, definitely gonna check out your Batman ranking video because it's funny because I was drinking last night and I did a little list on my own. I just didn't make a video about it, so I'm gonna see if your list lines up with mine. But we have similar tastes, so it might come close, you know.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, so I'm gonna leave the link to your channel in the description. So make sure you subscribe. Jacob Martin, all right, movie reviewer, watches every fucking thing. All right, he even reviewed Dolomite. All right, show my man some love.
That Dolomite that was a trip too. I'll tell you.
Oh my god, yeah, I applaud you for that, man. That's a movie that most people can't get through. So I applaud you for getting through Dolomite.
Yeah, like I saw like the Eddie Murphy biopic movie, and that was what intrigued me to check it out. Then when you brought it up, I'm like, hey, let's have you on. Talk about it, and I'm like, and that was a good gateway, I guess, to that movie and the blaxploitation genre.
Well, if you can find his other movies, you are in for a treat because believe it or not, Dolomite's probably the most grounded of the 4 movies that he's done. So after Dolomite, you got Dolomite 2, The Human Tornado, which is balls to the wall crazy. Then you got Petey Wheatstraw, the devil's son-in-law. That's a trip. That's where he gets killed and he makes a deal with the devil to bring him back to get revenge on the people that killed him. But the only thing is he has to marry the devil's daughter.
Oh, wow.
Who is the ugliest thing you've ever seen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then last but not least is the Disco Godfather.
Wow.
The name says it all.
Hey, brother, I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. Boom.
Nah, it's more like put your weight on it. Yeah, Jacob, the movie opens with him in this tight blue jumpsuit, right? You got the disco and the music playing in the club, right? And they introduce him. They said, introducing the Disco Godfather. He comes out there doing his dance tomorrow. Put your weight on it. Put your weight on it. Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, if you can find his other movies, you are in for a treat. Yeah.
Disco Godfather.
The Disco Godfather. I swear to God, that's an actual movie.
And I thought Disco Duck was bad.
No, the Disco Godfather. His tagline is "Put your weight on it." Oh shit! All right, well, Jacob, man, I appreciate you coming on, bro. I'm gonna leave the link to your channel in the description, man. This is a lot of fun. Can't wait to collab again. Next time we're talking Transformers the movie and G.I. Joe the movie. All right, so yeah, this is Rashad G signing out. Jacob Martin signing out. See y'all in the next video.